Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I post fragrance related content on this platform, particularly Middle Eastern fragrances. Now, if you're new and you like that style of content and you are not subscribed, please do consider clicking the red subscribe button and joining this family. Now, to those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Kindly check out my second channel where I focus mostly on Western fragrance reviews as well as vlogs. You will find the link of that channel in the description. You will also find a second link that will take you to a PayPal donate page in case you want to contribute anything at all towards the purchases and the growth of this channel. This channel relies only on AdSense for revenue, guys. Today we have a fragrance that I couldn't wait to get my hands on. I had to buy this one in the UK, right? So this came all the way from the UK because I couldn't wait. Now, why I decided to drop a pretty penny on this is not because it was not going to come here, but I thought it was probably not going to come fast enough for me. I did not buy the other one. They were Kaheela sugared patchouli smell alike. That one I'm going to wait for. But this I had to get my hands on because this has been going around, guys, as a clone for Fenty. And you know how I feel about Fenty, guys. So this is from Paris Corner. It's called December Rose. And this is the packaging. So this fragrance is going to sit in there. Let me just see if I can take the cover all out. Okay, so the fragrance is going to sit in there. If you are a fan of Paris Corner, you've probably seen the adverts for this fragrance, right? And what I like about this particular fragrance, guys, is it does have the notes listed on the bottle. Okay, so this is the packaging without the bottle. I'm going to spray the fragrance, but before then, let me show you how the bottle looks. That's how it looks. They didn't spare any costs. Very luxurious there, and the notes are listed at the back there. Let us spray this, and let me say this is going to be third impressions. I've only had this fragrance in my collection for about 2 days, and I dropped about 55 pounds for this fragrance, because I wanted to know if they really nailed it. So the notes listed for this are blueberry and tangerine. I'm reading them off the bottle. And then the heart of this fragrance is rose, geranium, and magnolia. And the base is musk and patchouli. Now, what you're going to get at the opening of this fragrance, guys, is a burst of what feels like a citrus wrapping up an evident rose. The rose in this fragrance, guys, is quite piercing. The blueberry note is there, but I get mostly like a piercing, minty, even aromatic rose. It seems to put more emphasis on the rose to an extent that I thought, could this mean that this is their rendition of the Fenty that is rose forward? Now, immediately, if you have used Fenty, or Fenty is one of your favorite fragrances, you're going to detect that this one, though sharing the likeness, lacks in the depth. I sometimes come here and say, oh, this one is lacking in the depth and stuff. But in this case, guys, I mean, seriously lacking in that depth. It comes across as a watered down presentation of what feels like something similar to Fenty. There is the blueberry note there that you are going to extract with your nose, but the blueberry note is lacking in the jamminess that it presents as in the Fenty. But do take note that, like I said, this is day 3, so this could be one of those fragrances that are gonna interpret like Kaheela. I can't remember, it's Lux or Platinum, the one that comes in the black bottle, that's inspired by Kaheela's Ember 23. That one needed a lot of sitting, for it to transform into like an exact clone of that particular fragrance. It presented as a burst of alcohol there, and then a very light kind of like a whiskey tone to it, and I was confused. So it could be that this one is one of those that take one direction before they macerate and then they change into something else. But what I can say for now, guys, is it's giving me a light interpretation of everything, watered down. It makes it more about the rose, and then an evident patchouli, a patchouli that is loud there, and it feels as though it's offside when it comes to that exotic, lush serving that you get from Fenty. The depth in this for now is missing. If it turns to something thicker, I will advise. The sweetness in itself as well is a bit watered down there. But yes, there is a semblance. There is something that is similar. However, say you tried this one first, because it is inspired, by that Fenty, you won't see why there's a hype around Fenty. And granted, I may love, Fenty perfume to like the extremes, but some people don't like it at all. So it's not like I'm saying Fenty perfume is the best perfume ever made. I am just saying, if you try this one, especially the way it's interpreting, the way it's tamed, the way it's watered down, the way it's citrusy forward, the way it's, putting emphasis on a piercing greenness there that you get from a lemony rose, even minty to an extent, you will think, is this what the Fenty hype is all about? You know what I mean? So there's one or two things here, which is, first of all, it could be Paris Corner's own twist, emphasizing or putting more emphasis on the rose. Secondly, it could be Paris Corner's exact 101 clone that needs to sit a little in my collection. So I'm going to put it out there that this is my to the camera first impressions. I'm going to come back with this fragrance side by side with Fenty after, let's just give it maybe 2 weeks, somewhere thereabout, to see whether it changes, because since it had to move mountains, cross oceans and stuff like that, maybe it's been so shaken about that the composition in itself needs time to settle, because of the effort that went into this fragrance, the fact that Paris Corner lists the notes 1 on 1. Okay, if you go on Fragrantica, you will see that these are the exact note for Fenty. For it to then be offside or miss the mark could be the just off the fact that this needs to sit a little. But for now, it's mostly a piercing thing that you're going to get there, whether you want to call it a piercing geranium, because it does have geranium listed there as a note. I'm not getting much of a magnolia there. I'm getting that tangerine, coming across as very citrusy, and maybe doing a little too much in terms of its citrusiness by diluting, that blueberry, the blueberry not coming across as jammy, the concentration and not coming across as thick enough, the concentration not coming across as eau de parfum to my nose. Whereas the fragrance itself, I think, does list that it is an eau de parfum. Let's see what they say this is. Okay. Does it say whether it's an eau de parfum or not? Yeah, it says it's an eau de parfum. So it's not interpreting as an eau de parfum. It's kind of, diluted there, interpreting as a fruity, like a light piercing fruity, aromatic fragrance with a faint shy exoticness. Whereas with the Fenty, it's like exotic in your face. You're going to get that jammy, jammy rose, even to an extent, incense there. And that is what is lacking in this for now. It's also a very light performer. I sprayed 2 sprays on my arm, and those quickly disappeared. So I thought, okay, maybe my skin's eating this up. And then I decided, well, since it's drawing its inspiration from a favorite fragrance of mine, I'm just going to bathe in it. And I did bathe in it, but it still didn't do the most, so it was still a subtle type of fragrance. And why this is a bit weird to me is I bought my Fenty online as well, and that one had to be shipped 1,200 kilometers away, and it had to come all the way. And the minute I sprayed it, just there immediately, it was just a fragrance that was strong, concentrated, heavily sweet, jammy, incensey, smoky, slightly smoky to an extent. And this has also done the distance, but it's coming across as light. So we'll see. Maybe it's just how Paris Corner mixes some of these concoctions. For now, this fragrance is going to give you about 4 hours. For now, it is more in line with a fragrance that's going to shine in the heat. It doesn't give me that winter tone, which is something I get again from the Fenty. It doesn't give me that winter weight. It gives me a fragrance that will potentially shine in the heat. Fruity floral type of situation there, with the rose and the blueberry there doing the most, but mostly the rose. Blueberry coming across, but not jammy. Mostly like a piercing, lightly green rose. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we'll obviously discuss more about fragrances. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on Paris Corner's December Rose. Okay, I love the bottle. So let me know your thoughts on this one. Let me know if you also have the other one, that is inspired by the Kaheela one. Let me know your thoughts, especially if you have compared it side by side with Fenty. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Please turn on post notifications on both my channels. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Meanwhile, like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.